Hey YouTube fam, it's Crystal here and you're watching Life with Chris, and on this channel I like to make self-love and self-care a hot hobby. And one of my hot hobbies lately is selling cool things on Etsy, homemade cool things on Etsy. And it's definitely brought in a lot of money for me. And I put out a poll the other day on like a community post, and a lot of people were interested in finding out how exactly I'm making money off of Etsy. So I'm here to talk about it. So keep watching. Okay, so first, I think it's only right for me to kind of explain how I even got started with Etsy. So in August of 2020, recently, I decided that I wanted to tie-dye my own face mask. I've always loved tie-dye. I have a lot of tie-dye like clothing in my house. I have a tie-dye lunchbox. I have just a bunch of tie-dye around the house, and it's something that I used to love to do when I was younger. And then because I've had extra time on my hands with the quarantine, I started doing it again. And as you guys know, like tie-dye has been pretty much on trend, especially during this quarantine. Like almost every single person you go out, you see somebody wearing like a full-blown tie-dye jumpsuit, like almost every store I go into. So I decided to kind of jump on the bandwagon, but instead of just wearing it, I started selling it. So everybody knows, you know, with COVID, you have to wear a face mask. I mean, please wear a face mask. It's so important. Keep yourself healthy and keep others healthy too. But I mean, one thing that we can do to kind of make it a little bit more exciting is to custom design your own face mask so that way it looks better. Rather than just using the medical grade one. And I'm not knocking the medical grade one. Go ahead, wear that if you want. But I personally, I've worn both. But I really do like the masks that I actually sell, which are 100% cotton. And I also hand dye them. So it's been a really cool process. And initially I started by just doing my own. And I was posting it on Instagram, like kind of jokingly at first, saying, hey, who would want to buy a mask for $8 each? And I would like send it in the mail. And then I ended up getting like a lot of requests to do custom masks, and it just started to get not out of hand, or maybe yeah, it got out of hand, but like in a cool way. And ended up opening an Etsy shop just to kind of control flow, and also drive like people to one platform. Because initially I started off where I was like selling it on IG and people were DMing me, and it was just getting really messy. Like people were texting me to, you know, submit orders and things like that. And it just started getting really messy. So I used the Etsy platform to assist me with selling my handmade merchandise. And I have to say, Etsy completely changed the sales game for me because it's allowed me to reach the type of demographic that I'm looking for. So I'm looking for people who want to invest in small businesses and also want homemade, made with love items, and Etsy is literally just that. So Etsy, if you're not familiar, it's a merchandising platform, completely online. However, there are options to kind of like take Etsy out with you. So for example, if you were at a farmer's market, or if you were at, I don't know, let's say you're having a conversation with someone at the post office and they like your mask. This actually happened to me. There's like different integrations that you can make like sales with Square, which is pretty cool. But aside from that, I just think Etsy in general has been such a blessing for my business because it's enabled me to not only reach more people, but also educated me on like what's important in terms of marketing and how to get your product out there. People purchase things visually. So with my tie-dye garments, you know, I try to make sure that the packaging looks okay. I'm not like the best photographer, and yes, I film off of an XR and I take pictures off of an XR, and I'll be honest with you, they don't always look the best, but I try to make them look as good as someone who's not a photographer possibly could, and I post them. So I kind of want to show you guys exactly what I've been doing too, and I'm going to take you with me so you can kind of see what kind of items I'm actually selling. So I talked about like tie-dye mask, and don't mind this little section over there, it's a little messy. Anyway, Like these are just some of the orders that I got recently that I'm going to be sending out. So usually like I'll tie-dye the mask, I wash it, and then like I lay them out and then I have to pack them up. This is like the acid wash. This is really, really popular. Everyone loves the acid wash right now. But another thing that I started doing as well is like using my Cricut to do vinyl. So like I've even done like custom vinyl. So let me tell you something. If you guys don't have a Cricut, just go and buy one, because there is so many ways for you to make money off of your Cricut. Let me show you my Cricut actually. So now I'm kind of showing you guys my workspace. So usually when I get like large orders, I like print out the Etsy order and shipping list, and I just kind of check off as I go just to kind of keep myself organized. This is all my open masks that are not dyed yet. I have all my dyes kind of hanging out here. If I do get a bad things happen in Philadelphia mask request, I already have the vinyl kind of cut out, which is good. This is my Cricut, and I love it. Okay, it's the Cricut Explore something Air, and then this is the press. And I have to say, like, it's definitely brought in a lot of money for me. Anyway, going back to the other tie-dye items. So my Nike socks has been a really big seller. People just are obsessed with tie-dye, and so am I. So I have no problem with people buying from me, but just the simple single dye I've been doing and putting it on my Etsy page, and people have been loving it. So like in terms of like how I keep organized, when I do get an order, I use little, whatever these are called, Post-its, and I usually hang them in my living room somewhere. And I also do the printout. And then I talked about packaging earlier. So these are these cute little thank you cards that I got from Hallmark that I use. And I always do a handwritten note because I think that people really do like the genuine nature of Etsy. I think that handwritten note always just adds like a special touch when you like send your order out, because people are like, oh wow, she wrote me a handwritten note. Like, I don't know, I've always gotten really good feedback with that. And so the other day I actually hit 2K sold on Etsy. And I think like in terms of best practices, if I had to put all of them in like a top 5, I think my number 1 would be branding. With anything, you know, branding and marketing is so important. So one thing that I recently just did, and I kind of feel like I hurt myself from not doing it earlier, is having an Instagram page. So my Instagram page, I've been posting frequently every day. I do about 3 posts a day and maybe like 2 stories, just so the customers can kind of see like what I'm doing. And the Instagram page has driven so much traffic to my Etsy. It's crazy. And also taking advantage of holiday sales. Like if you're gonna start an Etsy and you have like some creative thought in your mind that you wanna like execute, now is the time to do it, because holiday sales and people are looking for holiday gifts. More now than ever, people are looking to invest in small businesses because they know that small businesses are struggling because of COVID. So if you're looking to like launch a clothing line, or I don't know, make sweaters or knitted things, whatever, now is the time to do it, because people are looking for your product. So just believe in yourself and just do it. I'm telling you, you'll probably end up selling something pretty quickly, especially if you get on Etsy. So number 2 would be definitely joining groups that may also be looking for items that you are selling. So for example, I have like a few generic Facebook groups that I follow, and I have made sales through there just by posting my link and saying, hey, you know, I have this product. If you guys are interested, please purchase. And that has definitely been something that has driven a lot of traffic to my Etsy as well. And I also want to mention that Etsy has data analytics that are automatically built into your store, which is really great. And it actually says, or it will tell you where your traffic is coming from. And they offer suggestions on how to make your store better, which is also really great, because then you can know what kind of improvements you need to make. So I don't know if they have someone physically like reviewing over shops and then recommending, or if it's just like a AI type of thing where like they're like, oh well, she doesn't have this currently, well, let's push this information out to her so that way she can shift her shop around a little bit and maybe she'll be able to start making more money. Because at the end of the day, the more money you make, the more money Etsy makes. So they want to make sure that whoever is a seller on their platform is actually selling products. So they're going to recommend whatever they need to recommend to make sure that you are doing well in your business. I'd say number 3 is like try to do a giveaway. I haven't done a giveaway yet, but I have other friends that actually did a giveaway and were very successful. And pretty much, I'm sure you probably have seen giveaways on Instagram where like people will say, okay, retag this post or reshare this post, tag me in it, follow me, and then tag 2 friends. And you can win a free pair of socks, a free pair of booty bands, whatever it may be. And I think that's another thing that has drived people to Etsy. If people do have an Etsy shop, like I said, I haven't tried a giveaway yet. I think that, you know, getting the word out there and having your friends like support and like reshare your posts and things like that also helps your Etsy shop grow pretty quickly as well. Number 4 is to stay within the time ranges that you initially chose in terms of production when you first open your shop. So if you said that it's going to take a maximum of 10 business days from the point of sale to shipment, then you should be executing that in the time frame given. But if you're not, make sure you communicate with your customers. It's just a best practice. Like for me, right now, actually, I had a major delay on size large of my socks, my tie-dye socks, because Nike, apparently there's like some situation with like UPS and shipments, like they're delaying it. And then also, just in general, it's been really hard to like go in store and get socks because people have been buying them off. And I'm like, I guess maybe everyone has the same idea, which I wouldn't be shocked about. But so that has been really tough. But I think maintaining communication with your customers not only builds your reputation, but also has the customer kind of trust in you. And then I think number 5 is definitely to believe in the product that you sell. I rock my stuff. Like, you see this right here? These are my favorite stuff. I don't even know if you could see it. Can you see it? I hope so. Literally, I rock the stuff that I wear. I think that is the number 1 thing to do when you own a business. I don't care if you wear it every single day. Someone's going to see it. Someone's going to ask you about it. And that is literally the door opening for you to sell a product. I can't tell you the amount of times that people have asked me, wow, where'd you get your tie-dye from? Oh my God, your mask is so pretty. Ooh, what did you do, blah, 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 blah. And it was an avenue for me to be like, I'm actually on Etsy. Like, you know, like this is what I do. This is what I love to do. I believe in my product. I really enjoy doing this, that, and the other. And people have bought off of me because of that. Because at the end of the day, as a business owner, regardless of what your business is, you are your brand. So you want to make sure that you are doing whatever you can to get the word out there. And then also like kind of like believing and trusting in it, because I personally wouldn't like buy something from someone who's not going to be wearing it themselves. And I even made a funny comment the other day about like if you're not going to be a model for your own business, then what are you doing? So like for me, like I started tie-dyeing crew necks, and actually let me show you guys what I'm doing right now. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen this craze, but it's called ice dye. So I actually have something fun that will be popping up on my Etsy soon. But basically I started tie-dyeing crew necks, and you know, ideally would I have liked like someone to model them so I can show like diversity on my page? Yes. And I know that eventually I'll get to that place. But for right now, if you are your only resource in terms of a model to model your product, then do it. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, don't be like, oh, I can't model my own product. Just do it. Just do it. You can pose different. Like, I be posing like differently, you know? Like, one picture might be me. The next picture, you're like, who's that? And it's still me. So it works out. But yeah, Etsy, I do recommend it. I love Etsy. A lot of people do complain about fees. To be honest with you, I don't completely understand the fee structure of Etsy. I know it's 20 cents to post, like you can like post your a listing, but and then I think it's 20 cents that you give them every time you sell like an item or something. But basically, like in comparison to like the revenue that's made versus the fees, it's not too significant. So I'm not like, oh my God, I need to go out and get my own website. Like I'm not at that point yet. But I will definitely say between the resources that are given through having an Etsy account and also just like having the outreach and the different types of demographics that are reached by Etsy, like to me, it's 100% worth the fees that I'm being charged. And I really don't need to do anything to maintain the page other than like making listings and stuff like that. And then like there's an option for you to actually customize the page too, which is cool. But it's just been really great, and it's just been very easy. And I have the app on my phone, so when I get an order, I just get like a notification and it says like cha-ching, and I love hearing that noise. And yeah, I just think that Etsy's great. And if you have a product and you want to just kind of start off, I just think Etsy is a great avenue for beginners, especially for creators. So that's pretty much my story of how I got started on Etsy and what I sell on Etsy and how I'm making money off of Etsy. I hit the big goal of 2K the other day. Very, very happy, very, very blessed. And I can't wait to continue to put stuff out on my Etsy. All right, I'll leave the link in the description box. So that way you guys can check out my Etsy page if you're interested, and make sure you stop by. Maybe you want to buy some tie-dye. Who knows? All right, well, day 5 of Vlogmas complete. I love you guys. Bye.